So if I look at M&A feeding into technical debt, I think the problem is you're absorbing more technical debt a lot of times during mergers and acquisitions. What companies have to first realize is, what technical debt do I have in my target company, potentially that I'm moving the acquisition or merger into? Let me try to alleviate or remove any of that technical debt. So when I do M&A or activity or mergers and acquisitions, I can now pull them into a more modern environment that has less technical debt to kind of decrease the overall cost.
Anytime you introduce a broader scale of tool sets that are doing similar functions, you're significantly increasing the cost from a human perspective. It's not an easy solve. It's understanding the cost of what we're paying for something and understanding the cost of humans using that to do a function, and then how we turn that process into something that helps us say, there's value out of this, or there's value out of this, but we don't really need them to get our core functionality as a business. How do we make sure that what we're doing in one platform or tool, we're not having to do subsets of that or all of that in other tool sets? How do we move data? How do we put data in a centralized platform that is distinct enough that our business can do its function? At the same time, we're not increasing tech debt by adding all these different tools that different teams are using.
I think the key thing that customers are going to run into there is the disparate environments. A lot of times when you're on technical debt, companies are locked into more your on-prem legacy environments that are very high in technical debt, and it's very difficult to get off of those. If a company can shift their focus to a more modernized environment, getting off or shifting devices, if we look at imaging to provisioning, to be able to repurpose those devices in a quicker fashion, helps speed up and provides better employee experience, but then again, lower total cost of that transition.
When we look at this from a tooling perspective, from a hardware and infrastructure perspective, very, very important to understand the transition customers are on between CapEx and OpEx. The true hybrid multi-cloud discussion, do we do some of this as a service while we're transitioning through from CapEx? How do we migrate that into workloads that we're not generating more tech debt over time? All of those come into play as part of that discussion.